Be ready. Start. The power to interdict a proceeding, either at the threshold or at an intermediate stage of the trial, is inherent in a high court on the broad principle that in case the allegations made in the FIR or the criminal complaint, as may be prima facie, do not disclose a triable offence, there can be reason as to why the accused should be made to suffer the agony of a legal proceeding that more often than not gets protracted. A prosecution which is bound to become lame or a sham ought to interdicted in the interest of justice, as continuance thereof will amount to an abuse of the process of the law. This is the core basis on which the power to interfere with a pending criminal proceeding has been recognized to be inherent in every high court. The power, though available, being extraordinary in nature, has to be exercised sparingly and only if the attending facts and circumstances satisfies the narrow test indicated above, namely that even accepting all the allegations leveled by the prosecution, no offense is disclosed. However, if so warranted, such power would be available for exercise not only at the threshold of a criminal proceeding but also at a relatively advanced stage thereof, namely after framing of the charge against the accused. In fact, the power to quash a proceeding after framing of charge would appear to be somewhat wider, as at that stage the materials revealed by the investigation carried out usually comes on record, and such materials can be looked into not for the purpose of determining the guilt or innocence of the accused, but for the purpose of drawing satisfaction that such materials, even if accepted in its entirety, do not in any manner disclose the commission of the offense alleged against the accused. In an earlier part of this order, the allegations made in the FIR and the facts disclosed upon investigation of the same have already been noticed. The conclusions of the High Court in the petitions filed by the accused for quashing of the charges framed against them have also been taken note of, along with the fact that in the present appeals only a part of said conclusions of the High Court is under challenge and therefore would be required to be gone into. Section 464 of Indian Penal Code, which defines the offense of forgery, encompasses a dishonest or fraudulent act of a person in making a document with the intention of causing it to be believed that such document was made, signed, sealed, etc. by or by the authority of a person by whom or by whose authority he knows that it was not made, signed, sealed, executed, etc. If such an act of a person is covered by the definition of forgery contained in section 464 of the Penal Code, we do not see as to why the action of the accused in making the endorsement in the investment renewal form dated 22/3/1993 of Vaisya Bank in the light of the surrounding facts and circumstances already noted cannot prima facie amount to making of a document with an intention of causing it to be believed that the same was made by or by the authority of the joint account holder of the Satish Mehra. Thank you.